Best known as a subspecies of the Xenomorph, the Lurker was a term first coined for the aliens, Colonial Marines video games in 2013. However, this creature debuted in the 1979 film Aliens, which was our introduction to this fascinating world of foreign creatures that hail from the LV-426 moon. While xenomorphs are famously known as mutated alien species born due to the manipulation of engineers, not everyone knows that they go through several stages and assume different forms. From the facehugger phase to the chestbuster subspecies, xenomorphs have assumed several forms, and today we shall be specifically exploring the Lurker xenomorph.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Who are the Lurker xenomorphs? Lurker xenomorphs stand somewhere between the warrior and the chestburster in terms of their age, and they seem to have some unique characteristics that separate them from the majority of xenomorphs. The only known Lurker is called the Alien, who first appeared in the 1979 Alien film On Board the Nostromo ship. After bursting from within the body of one of the crew members named Kane, the alien made its way through the ship and proceeded to go on a murderous rampage. After killing most of the Nostromo's crew, this particular Lurker was stopped by Ellen Ripley, who activated the Nostromo's self-destructive function and escaped before the entire thing blew up. Much to her surprise, the Lurker managed to escape and sneaked up on her in her escape pod. While Ripley tried to hide in the spacesuit room, the Lurker inched closer, and she barely had enough time to activate the airlock and shoot him out of the vessel and into the vast nothingness of space. As it turned out, the Lurker could not be shaken off that easily, and he continued to latch onto the escape pod until Ripley finally activated the aircraft's motors and shot him to death. The Lurker later appeared in Aliens, Colonial Marines, where we learned that they hail from LV-426. While they bear some similarities to a standard drone alien, Lurkers are faster than other alien species and are also known for spying on the characters and lurking in the shadows. They were notorious for sneaking up on a player out of nowhere, and the Lurkers in the Colonial Marines games seemingly had an evolved alien cycle wherein they could create new hybrids and evolve into a crusher or a queen during gameplay. They also had a standard way of killing their opponents, and some of these techniques were known as the Impaler, wherein the Lurker uses its tail to strike a player down, or the Maw technique, which involved grabbing a player and biting their head off with their fang-like teeth. What about their appearance? The Lurker stood apart from a typical xenomorph in terms of its appearance, especially due to its smooth cranial dome and a transparent shell that covered its skull. Since this see-through shield protected their skull, one could observe their features and notice their nostril holes, eye holes, and the dark black patterns scattered all over their skulls. The Lurkers seemingly shared a lot of features with humans, such as hands, feet, and a humane posture, but they preferred to walk on all fours. These subspecies of the xenomorphs had black, grayish skin, and their torso and limbs were quite similar to the xenomorph warrior species that appeared in the second Alien film. They stood about 8 feet tall, and their appearances kept evolving over time. Smarter than others, Lurker xenomorphs intelligent. As it turns out, Lurker xenomorphs are known for their intellect, and they often use stealth and strategy to corner their prey. They could adapt to new environments and study them in order to find the most suitable tactics to sneak up on their prey and ambush them. While these creatures did not boast of extraordinary intellect or communicate with other species effectively, their intelligence certainly showed in their actions when they dealt with prey. They were also known for their impressive speed, which further enabled them to plan quick ambushes to strike their victims down. In the movie, as well as the video games, the Lurker stayed true to its name and bid its time in the corners until it came up with the perfect strategy to take its victim by surprise and deliver a fatal blow.
Move down, get out! Oh.
The Lurker Xenomorphs, from creation to evolution. If one has to strictly classify the Lurker within one of the Xenomorph subcategories, it would have to be a drone. While the Lurker shares some physical features with other Xenomorph subtypes, it is fitting to classify him as a drone, as he is older than a chestburster and much younger than a warrior. A chestburster is essentially a baby Xenomorph that grows within a host body after the facehugger latches onto the host. As the chestburster grows, it erupts from the host's body and kills it in the process before going into hiding to fully evolve into a grown Xenomorph. At this stage, the Xenomorph can be referred to as a drone or a stage 4 Xenomorph, which is also the point where it can assume the role of a Lurker. As we mentioned, the Lurker is younger than the warrior, which is a later stage of development in the life cycle of a Xenomorph. As a subcategory of a drone, the Lurker arrests its development until the pheromones from a queen allow it to continue its evolution into a warrior or a stage 5 Xenomorph. Marvelous verdict. To wrap things up, the Lurker certainly makes for an interesting Xenomorph subspecies despite its limited appearance. A singular Lurker managed to do enough damage on board the Nostromo ship and proved to be enough to eradicate almost every last crew member. Later, this creature showcased its intellect while dealing with opponents and players in Aliens, Colonial Marines, and it would certainly be a delight to see more of these creatures in upcoming Aliens media.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.